Victory Lutheran. This is Vicar Seth here, and we're continuing our summer Reading and Rooted program where we just look to stay connected in the Word and ask intentional questions about what God might be doing in each of our lives. And so I've got three questions for you all this week. Our first question is on Psalm chapter 62, verses 1 through 8. And in this reading we hear that God alone is our fortress of salvation. Martin Luther once said that an idol is anything that we go to in times of need before God. An idol is anything we go to before God in our greatest time of need. And so that means we have all been guilty of idolatry in our life. And so the question is this: what is something that we might be tempted to rely upon in place of God? And our second question is on James chapter 2, verses 14 through 20. And in this reading, St. James, he has some pretty strong words that have some pretty strong implications for the Christian life. And he says, faith without works is dead. And this is kind of the infamous slogan of James. Faith without works is dead. So does this mean that we rely on our good works to get into heaven? Of course not. Instead, this means that good works are the natural outflow of what God has already done for us in the person and work of Jesus Christ. And so the question is this: what might be a simple way for you to live out your faith this week? How might God be leading you to love and serve your neighbors? And finally, the last question comes from our gospel reading for this Sunday, which comes from the Gospel of St. Matthew, and that is Matthew chapter 25, verses 31 through 40. And here Jesus states in this text that whatever you do for the least of these, that you have done also for him. The human needs that we see around us, especially in Medicine Hat, they're numerous and they can be overwhelming. At least that's how I think sometimes, because it feels like we can't make a meaningful difference. Everything just is a drop in the bucket when we see the vast human need around us. But God has placed us all in unique places of responsibility. He has placed us all in various vocations. Whatever it is you're doing right now, that is the vocation that God has placed you in. And so he has placed you in these places to love and serve your neighbor. And so what comes to mind when you think of Jesus' words, the least of these? Who is the least of these? Who is the least of these that are around you, that God has put you in the path of? And so all these questions, I pray that they'll be on your mind and that you'll be giving them some good thought. And I look forward to seeing you all on Sunday morning. God bless.